Does she have a right to appeal again?
Yeah, she has a right to appeal, just as the government would have had a right to appeal if today's decision had gone in her favour. So it's not the end of the road by any means. You know, it just reminds me of what we're seeing with Rwanda and this never-ending saga of the British government to try to get asylum seekers to that country to be processed, which is just being dragged through the courts as well. So there is no doubt, I think, she's been fighting really since 2019, since Sajid Javid decided to strip her citizenship for the right to be allowed back into this country and to gain her citizenship. Now, she claims, and her lawyers claim, that send me back to the UK, I'm more than willing to stand trial. Not that she would have any choice in the matter anyway. However, the government has been very reluctant to go down that road, and for one key reason: it's very difficult to try to put a case before the British courts about events that took place in a lawless country like Syria. And although there is intelligence out there that has been gathered over a number of years by key intelligence assets out in Syria, that, according to sources that have spoken to me, suggest that, you know, she was part of an religious enforcement group that would go around these areas in Syria that would enforce strict Sharia law, that she was involved in sewing up suicide vests onto ISIS fighters, and other, you know, concerning reports about what she was up to in that time. Although there's intelligence out there that tell the British government that she would be a dangerous individual to be allowed back in to this country, it's difficult then to put that evidence before a court.
Isn't it? That was the case that I was making before to my guest about the fact that I feel like it would be very hard to build anything convincing, as you say, the burden of proof. The evidence base would be so high to ever see that she would end up behind bars. What will happen now then, Mark? I mean, like you say, she has the right to appeal this. I expect another year, possibly, this might drag on for?
Yes, because, you know, although her supporters will say, you know, here she is living in squalor in the Al-Roj camp in northern Syria, and I'm sure that conditions are not as pleasant as being back here in the UK. But the fact is, she's not on her own in that sense. She has got the full weight of a machine behind her, which are, you know, immigration lawyers, human rights charities and alike, who are there and fighting this case for her. And at every turn, they will go and exhaust every possible avenue to try to get this woman back into the country.
She's also got a PR team behind her now, Mark. She's
of course
had the most extraordinary PR machine.
It's exactly what I say. It is a machine. But, of course, they would argue that on the other side, there is a machine in the form of the state apparatus in this particular country, the Home Office, the government, the intelligence services and alike, that are, you know, against her best interests. So both these sides will still, unfortunately, argue this out in the courts for some time to come.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark. Let me know